think the biggest challenge for us was, we used to tell this story, and if you would have asked me, if you came up to me at a party or something, if you would have asked me what we did, I would have told you, well, my father-in-law,
Mm-hmm.
and then I would walk through his story of inventing a safety product for schools. And I got a lot of that's really cool, but I never made any connection as to those people need our product in their schools, those kinds of conversations. So the biggest change is that we stopped telling that story. We stopped telling the story about my father-in-law. And it's actually really interesting how we started our company. And so I always thought, well, if it's interesting, people want to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
But the truth of the matter is they really wanted a safety product for their schools that made it safer
Mm-hmm.
for kids where they, play. And so that's the story that we started to tell instead. The other biggest challenge that we faced implementing with StoryBrand framework is that we really pared down what we were talking about. So we had several products, and we decided, let's focus our homepage and really some of the premier internal pages that we used, and only talk about our one big product, and everything else will just go to the footer of the page. And that was a little bit scary because you don't want to lose any revenue, but it didn't, it did the very opposite when we focused on the one product that we really was proprietary to us and that people were really choosing, then sales began to increase. So it was pretty amazing.
Marketing directors are relating with you right now. Then maybe they don't work for a family business, but they get handed an assignment. They maybe learn about StoryBrand, or someone was delegated StoryBrand, but then they want to implement it and change how the organization talks about what they do. So what's just for their edification, how do you talk about the business now?
How do I talk about the business now?
How do you talk about your business now? Let's hear what the new message sounds like.
So the new message is, do you know those protruding coat hooks that stick out at eye level whenever you go through schools?
Yeah.
Those are really dangerous for kids when they're hung at eye level. So we have a flat profile coat hook that makes schools safer. That's our one-liner. That's what we say. That's our messaging now. And it resonates within everything that we do. So we went to a trade show, and the sign behind us said, "Our hooks won't hurt you." And you'd be amazed how many people were coming up to us, and they would say, "Do coat hooks hurt you?" And I was like, "Yes, they do." And so it opened a huge story loop in people's minds, and we had, really great conversations because we went toward their problem, the problem the customers are facing, instead of saying, "My father-in-law started this company, it's really cool." That doesn't solve the problem for our customers.